Let us calculate the following integrals. We want the integral from 0 to 1 of x squared dx. So we're finding the area. An area here. Now, if we do this, what we'll get is x to the 2 plus 1, which is 3, x cubed, over the new power 3, and we're going from 0 to 1. Now that's equal to, remember the procedure, the upper boundary, you substitute for x, so it's 1 cubed divided by 3 minus, substitute 0 for x now, 0 cubed divided by 3, and this gives you 1 cubed, which is 1 over 3, so it's 1/3 square units. Okay. Now, what about number 2? What we're finding is the integral from -1 to 0 of x squared dx. So this is going to be x cubed divided by 3 from -1 to 0, which is, we have 0 cubed over 3 minus -1 cubed over 3. 0 cubed over 3 is 0, minus -1 cubed is -1. It's -1/3. But 0 minus -1/3 is the same as 0 plus 1/3, which is 1/3 square units. Okay, good. What about number 3? So we have integral from -1 to 1 of x squared dx. When we integrate x squared, we get x cubed over 3. And remember that we're not using a constant of integration, because it's definite integration. We define the boundaries. In this case, the boundaries are -1 and 1. We're going from -1 to 1. So we have 1 cubed divided by 3 minus -1 cubed divided by 3, which is 1/3 minus -1/3, same as 1/3 plus 1/3, which is 2/3 square units. All right. So you notice from 0 to 1 is 1/3. From -1 to 0 is also 1/3. But from -1 to 1 is 2/3, twice. Now, if we should take a look at what the graph of this might look like. This is our x-axis and our y-axis, and we're going from -1 to 1. The graph of y equal x squared would look somewhat like this, right? So here, when we integrate from 0 to 1, that's number 1, the 1/3, the area, is this. When we integrate from -1 to 0, that's the second one, we cover the same area. And since it's a curve, we wouldn't have been able to do it like what we did in the previous video and the one before that and get an accurate answer. Right? It's not a straight line. The area is under a curve, not under a straight line. Now, if we integrate all the way from -1 to 1, that's what happened in question 3. We get 2/3. So we have these as the areas. We're going straight from -1 to 1, we get 2/3.